Okay, welcome back to Jeepa Woodworking. Today, gonna make a drawer and the support parts to hold the slides. Um, so, from yesterday's build, let me show you. Let me bring this down. So, I got this opening that I'm gonna put a nice drawer in. So, um, let me give you a better view. All right, so I'm going to take the top off, and as you can see, I got this nice opening here, but I'm going to need a support rail on both sides to hold the soft close slides for the drawer. So I got to measure this opening, and I got to measure the opening there for my supports. So the slides are 1/2 inch thick. I don't have them in my possession at the moment, but I'll pick them up today. And so I got to build a box for this opening and go from there. Okay, so yesterday I mentioned that I forgot to do something, and one of the things I forgot to do is cut my slots for here, I'll show you. This is a clip for holding the table top in place. Instead of screwing it down with pocket holes so that the top doesn't move, the thinking is that with temperature change, humidity change throughout time, you want your tabletop to be able to expand and contract. That way it does not crack or buckle or anything like that. On a smaller piece like this, I don't think it's as critical, but I like to use these. So I forgot to cut the slots for this part to go into the sides of, as you can see, this is going to slide into a slot and the hole gets screwed into the tabletop. That way the top can move side to side and in and out as conditions change. So I can't use my my biscuit joiner because this opening isn't wide enough for me to get a biscuit joiner in there. So I'm going to have to do it on my router table, and here I got a slot cutter that'll cut 1/2 inch deep because it has a bearing, so I can place this upside down on my router table and cut my slots. I'm going to put 3 slots on front and back, and 2 on my sides, each side. That way I'll have plenty of hold down. I think 1 on each side would be sufficient, and 2 front and back probably is, thinking about it, that would probably do just fine. So I'll adjust for the height so that I have a little bit of pull down when I screw it down. I don't want it exact. I want it plus, say, a 1/16 of an inch, maybe a 32nd. That way I have some pull down. It'll hold the top down. The top won't move at all by hand, but it will expand and contract with the temperature change and climate change throughout the year with no ill effect. So I'm going to set this up on my router table before I do anything else, before I get my cross pieces in. So that's my next step. Okay, so I'm going to pull the fence off. I will not need that, and store it. I will unplug the power. Having this router lift table makes life a lot easier. Got a dedicated router underneath that I never have to change. I leave it in place. It is multi-speed, so there is a switch on it for setting up different speeds I need. Half-inch shank. As you can see, it's real easy to change. There we go. So now what I want to do is I want to set that height to be positive. So I want the slot to be higher than what so I have a positive pull down. So when I put it in the slot and I screw it down, I'm going to be pulling it into the base. Lock it in place, and you always do a test run. So I gotta find a test block to work with, and this is what I'll do. The thing is with that, I need to be able to flip it upside down onto this and make my grooves. So, one of the things that I just thought about is I was going to do a test piece and slide it in and cut it, but one of the problems that I see is if I tilt this any which way, it might bind. So I'm not going to do a test piece. I'm going to do a test piece on my furniture. So I do know that the limit on that is a 1/2 inch, and my wood is 3/4 inch. So I know I've already, it's, all right, so it's 9/16, and my wood is 3/4 inch. So I know that it's not going to cut all the way through, which is, no, cool. So we're going to do an actual cut, and then I'll test for depth for my clips. So here we go. Safety glasses. I'm going to put my room ventilation on. And I'm not going to use any dust collection because I need the space. So luckily I got ceiling height. And what I want to do is I'm going to do a test piece this way. Just like that. That way there's no binding and everything should be good. Find my earplugs and then I can test my clip. Everything's clear. That's all it takes. Safety first, always. So, I do know that once I get that clip in, that's a good height. It'll pull down, it won't go anywhere, and there'll be enough clips to hold it. So I'm going to cut the rest of my slots. So it's as simple as that. These clips will fit in perfect. See what happened, which is fine. So I'm going to unplug and pull that off. I don't need that bit on there anymore. A handy bit to have. And I'll just tuck it away, put a blank cover over it. That way no dust gets down in there. There we go. Clean up my mess. So there you have it. I got my tabletop fastener slotted. That'll hold that nicely in place. Okay, so now I'm going to cut my side rails. I'm going to cut them at 4 inches, just because they could be less, but I'm going to cut them at 4. I'm going to rip it to 4 inches and go from there. That should be 4 inches based on my scale. Just double check. And that is a light 4, because you want to be on the inside of the carbide tooth, which is, no, I want, which I will. I'm going to adjust my indicator here. All I gotta do is just put it right on the money. It's always good to check that every once in a while to make sure it's right. So I'll cut this and then I'll cut it to length on my miter station. Okay, I gotta move my camera because it's gonna be in the way. There we go. The one thing I forgot was my dust mask today. Apologize for that. There we go. Look up. Now I do know that I want 10 and 15/16. So let's move over here.